the Niners and the Rams. The Rams are very interesting because they have Hall of Famers on their team. They have some of the best players in the league, and they have a ton of dead cap and a ton of very cheap players. So they're kind of like the opposite salary structure as the 49ers. Let's compare. Bring up the Rams. So start out with the dead money. Okay, hold on. Let's do it this way. Active cap spending, the Rams are at the bottom. They're third lowest in the league. Their payroll is 140. And that's because they have 39 million in dead cap. So they're working at a deficit. This is all because of Jared Goff and Todd Gurley. Jared Goff counts 24/7. He's still the highest paid player on the team. Jared Goff at 24/7. That's his cap number this year. He's gone. Second highest is Stafford at 20. Then you got Aaron Donald at 14. That's 14. A bargain. That's a bargain for him.
Right.
You got Jalen Ramsey at 9. That's a bargain for him. You got Todd Gurley at 8. That hurts. Rob Havenstein at 8, Higbee at 7, Robert Woods at 5. That's a bargain. Whitworth at 5. That's a freaking bargain. Leonard Floyd at 5, Cooper Kupp at 5, A'Shawn Robinson at 5, Johnny Hecker at 5. And then that's, then you got
right.
Deshaun
And then you
Jackson,
go to Darius Williams, Deshaun Jackson. Yeah.
So that's where they're at.
So if you look at their active spending, I actually like how it's allocated.
Yeah.
To me, $20 million for Matthew Stafford, who I view as a top 10 quarterback, and I view as a guy talented enough to win a league MVP with this type level.
Yeah.
Bargain to me, especially when the top guys in the league, like the Rodgers and the Wilsons, are making 35, 36 million. I think you can win with that. I really do. When you look at Donald at 14, bargain. Ramsey at 9, bargain. And you go down the list because there's a lot of solid depth pieces on this roster making $1 to $2 to $3 million against the cap. The biggest problem with the Rams and their payroll is the fact that their highest paid player is not on their roster. And the Rams' biggest problem is the fact that they gave Jared Goff a non-team friendly contract, and they realized 1 year too late, like, wow, he's really, really bad. We really need to get rid of him. Now let's just throw out our picks because we don't like picks and just get rid of Jared Goff. And, like the Rams would be actually in a very ideal spot if the Jared Goff contract was like the Gurley contract. Was it the smartest contract? Absolutely not. It was a bad contract. We can look at it now, 2020 hindsight. But I don't fault the Gurley contract as much because I didn't think they I didn't think they had as much leverage in that situation because Gurley at that point was a near MVP player. Like Gurley was a top 2 running back in the NFL. Yeah. He was putting them on his back.
He was the offense.
Special,
he was
everything, right?
He like 40 touchdowns in 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, I don't fault them on that. The Goff contract, I do fault them on that. And to me, that Goff contract was just like, we traded so much to draft him at number 1. Now let's prove ourselves right because if we gave him that much money,
because like, he's a quarterback, we have to. It's like there's no precedent of moving on, but it's a whole new ball game now with these rookie deals. And just because you can win with a guy making 10 million doesn't mean you can win with a guy making 30. So
yeah. And so even with winning with him at 10, people were still saying, man, imagine if the Rams had a good quarterback.
Yeah.
People were saying that then. So to me, like, and honest to God, the reason I think they gave him that contract that way was like, if we give him this contract, see, we traded up that much to get him at 1. Now we pay him like this. Like, we're going to prove ourselves right because we're giving him this much money. We were right on this pick, blah, blah, blah. And they screwed up because they could have paid him a lot of money and had him team friendly the way the Niners have with Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's right.
And man, they would look so different because the way they've allocated finances to who they have with the little finances they have, they've done an awesome job. You give them an extra $30 million to play with this year. Can you imagine how stacked the Rams would be?
They might be the Super Bowl favorite. Because I'm looking at Stafford. I mean, at 10.7% of the cap, that's not outrageous. That's about the going rate for an excellent veteran. That's fine.
Yes.
I'll come with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
plus, you got to mention favors on defense. No, it's a good start.
Yes, Grant. And look at their coaching staff. We already have the Rams as one of the top 10 or 9 best rosters in the NFL with Jared Goff just eating $30 million of their money.
Yes.
Can you imagine if they had $30 million to spend with? Like,
think about what the Rams are going to do next year. Think about that.
Right. Because Grant, if you look at the payrolls, right, the 100, what is it? I think the Rams are spending what, 140 million. They're spending 140 compared to the 178 the Niners are spending. Both are allocated spot on. We've gone in the last 2 topics. we've gone ad nauseum talking about how well the Niners have allocated their resources and how
Niners are at 164, but that's going to go up when they pay Ambry Thomas, Trey Sermon, Trey Lance, and extend Fred Warner. So that's going to be closer to 178. It's going to go up.
It goes to 178, right.
Yeah,
right.
Does.
So
it does.
when you look at that, right, Grant? To me, we've talked about how in the 140, the Rams are spending the 140 on active players pretty darn on, right?
Yes, like, there's no one you're like, ooh, that one guy shouldn't be getting the money. There's no one.
No,
there's no one.
Talked about Cardinals, we talked about Niners, it's good. It's just that $30 million to Jared Goff, the fact that they don't have that $30 million, to me, that's where I say it's a bad payroll. It goes from being a good payroll to a bad one.
Now, let me ask you, is Goff off the books next year? Since it was pre-June 1?
I thought it was 2 years.
2 years? That sucks. Damn, that sucks. Hey, that's their problem, though. They created this problem on their own. They created this problem.
To me, the shocking thing is I always thought they threw in the extra pick. Like, I thought by throwing in the extra pick, they were trying to incentivize Detroit for, help us out a little bit with Goff. No. They said, Detroit, just take him. We'll even do the spending this year. Just take him, please, God, take him.
Wild. And really, all this could have been avoided had they had the epiphany 2 years ago. So what we're trying to say is that not that the Niners are the team to beat in the NFC West, but that they could be. If they could be, they certainly. It's a little bit. It seems like it's wide open, this division, man. I have no idea who's going to finish first or last.
If you go through the financial structure, Niners have the best financially structured roster in the NFC West. Here's the thing I would argue, Grant. I feel like there were rosters with the Niners that didn't have great records, that if we went through the roster because of Parag, we would say financially, wow, the Niners are financially really well structured. They're not paying anybody too much. There's nobody on this team that's bad, that's making an excessive amount of money. There's nobody on this team that, deserves to be paid a ton of money more. Like, overall, it was just a beautifully financially structured roster. It just it goes back to the football aspect of it. And like the Rams, right? I don't like how their finances are structured because $30 million's too Goff. I do like who they're paying.
Yes, and also I want to say,
I like who they're paying.
The spending 27 on Jimmy Garoppolo is not good. It's a massive overpay, and I think what we're saying is once they move on from that and spend that on 3 or 4 players who deserve the money, their salary structure is going to be up against any teams in the league. But right now, the Jimmy thing it's not good. It's a big time overpay, however you slice it.